The vats hissed and churned, casting orange steam that veiled the processing floor in a perpetual, toxic mist. Above, iron catwalks groaned beneath the weight of black-armored sentinels as they moved with precision, enforcing the order of the core authority. The smell, metal, chemicals, and burning flesh coated every breath with a bitter film. I kept my head low as I pushed the cart full of nutrient slurry toward the feeding tubes. It was my 3rd month working here, and I'd learned not to ask questions. Not about the screaming, not about the limp bodies, and especially not about the pit where they harvested energy. This wasn't Earth. Not anymore. Earth died in fire and ice decades ago, and what remained had been shaped by the Thermic Accord, a pact between human survivors and the alien overlords known as the Krath. In exchange for survival, we gave them the one thing they craved, our body heat. Human thermal energy. Harvested from the living. And I, Corin Lyle, fed the system. Unit 324, crackled a voice over the intercom. Send the next batch. I stopped at the edge of the holding chamber. Behind thick glass, a group of naked, trembling humans huddled together. Some were crying. Others looked dead already, mentally checked out. Only one moved toward the glass. She was maybe 19. Thin, pale, ribs visible beneath bruised skin. Her eyes, blue, sharp, alive, locked on mine. She didn't look away as the chamber hissed open. I motioned with my scanner. Move. Now. She hesitated. Then stepped forward. The rest followed. The guards shoved them into the chamber, lining them up before the pipelined pit. One by one, they were shackled by the wrists and ankles. When the steam began to rise and the heat lamps flared, they started to scream. That was when I turned away, always at that part. But today, I didn't. Today, I looked back. The girl, she was second in line. Her shackles hadn't yet locked. She was shaking, chest heaving, but her eyes still searched for mine. And then she did something no one had ever dared to do. She broke formation, lunged forward, and grabbed my wrist. I froze. A guard shouted. A baton sparked. But then, she whispered, just one word. Please. She didn't beg for freedom. She didn't scream for mercy. She didn't even pull me close. Just that one word, in a voice so soft, I wasn't even sure I heard it. But I felt it. Her hand was ice cold. Her eyes burned with something I hadn't seen in a long, long time. Hope. I don't know what took over me. Instinct. Guilt. Madness. But I made a choice in that moment that shattered everything. I struck the guard with my elbow before his baton could make contact. He dropped hard. Alarms blared. Steam hissed from the walls like angry serpents. I yanked her free and ran. Down the corridor, through the delivery ducts, past the waste chutes that reeked of death. Sirens followed, loud and sharp, echoing through the concrete bones of the facility. I knew every tunnel, every blind spot. I'd mapped them out over weeks, in case I ever decided to end it all myself. But now, I wasn't running alone. She never let go of my hand. Not once. We burst into the recycling chamber and sealed the door behind us. She collapsed, coughing, her skin slick with condensation. I knelt beside her. What's your name? She blinked, confused by the question. Then said, Era. That was stupid back there, I muttered. I know, she said. But I saw something in your eyes. You looked sad. Like you weren't one of them. I wasn't. Not really. But I didn't deserve her trust. How long have you been in the system? I asked. Since I was 10. They took my brother first. Said he was too hot. Perfect for extraction. I've been waiting for my turn ever since. I clenched my fists. They don't care who you are. They only care about how much energy you can give before you die. Era nodded. That's why we have to end it. I blinked. We? There's more of us, she said. Others like me. Survivors. We've been waiting for someone on the inside. Someone who knows the system. I stared at her. Why tell me this? Because you saved me, she whispered. And now you're one of us. We moved only at night. Through the drain tunnels, past abandoned sectors where the sentinels no longer patrolled. Era knew how to stay hidden. She was smarter than anyone I'd ever met. She taught me how to walk silently, how to listen for the soft hum of energy conduits, how to breathe without panic. Eventually, we reached the outskirts of Sector D, a forgotten warehouse buried beneath collapsed concrete. Inside, 15 others waited. Some were children. One was blind. A woman with a metal arm nodded at Era and gave me a hard look. This the one? She asked. Era nodded. He saved me. The woman grunted. Hope is worth it. The plan was suicidal. Blow the central energy vat. Destroy the conversion tower. Free the prisoners waiting to be drained. It had to be timed perfectly. The guards rotated every 22 minutes. Power dropped for maintenance every 6 hours. One mistake and we'd be cooked alive. I was to pose as an inspector, use my access codes, and deactivate the override system from within. Era would slip through the steam ducts and release the holding pens. We had 12 minutes. The night of the assault, I expected fear. Panic. But instead, I found clarity. As I stepped into the core control room, I keyed in my stolen codes. The console beeped. Alarms didn't go off. No one stopped me. I looked at the monitors, room after room of people, lined up like livestock. Rows of bodies in boiling vats. Some still twitched. Others no longer moved. Era's voice buzzed in my comm. I'm in position. Unlocking pens now, I said. 1 click. Then 2. Then a deep, gurgling sound as the pipes reversed and coolant sprayed instead of steam. Screams changed, no longer of pain, but of confusion from the guards. Lights exploded. Sirens wailed. And behind me, someone shouted, "He's in here." I turned just as a baton cracked against my shoulder. I hit the ground. Another blow, my vision blurred. Then, a flash of blue hair, a scream, and Era was there, slamming the guard into the wall. "You okay?" she shouted. I nodded, coughing blood. "Just do it." She helped me up, pressed the final detonation code. "Now run." I shouted. The explosion shattered the ceiling. Fire rained like lightning. The energy core erupted, taking 2 whole sectors with it. We barely made it into the sewer drains before the shockwave hit. The factory burned for 2 days. They said 600 humans escaped that night. A whole convoy disappeared into the wastes. Some say they were captured. Others say they built a new sanctuary, where no one is harvested. Era and I, we made it out. We never returned. Sometimes, when the nights are cold and the stars burn too bright, I still feel her hand gripping mine, that moment in the steam chamber when everything changed. She was next to be boiled for energy. But then she grabbed my hand and whispered, "Please." And that one word saved us both. Ask ChatGPT.